Hello everyone, today I'm going to be making a die, as in dice. So I'm just going to hop into Blender and quickly make one of those by beveling the edges and making an indent, because the die that I'm actually kind of modeling this after is from Mario Party, I think. I'm not a huge Mario player, so I don't know which one. So the real experiment of this project is the scripting of the die. So I've been having a lot of, I wouldn't say dreams, but like thoughts about how I would do this, because a friend was trying to make a die for a game, and so I just thought that I would give it a go and maybe this can help him. So the die that I'm modeling has like this inner part that kind of scales in and out and is quite cartoony, so I was trying to go after that effect. Now you may hear a difference in my audio. That's because I'm experimenting with the new audio setup. I don't know if I like it as much, but I'll give it a try in this video. So my idea for making the numbers is to make one panel that has all the numbers on it, and then to script the change of all the numbers on that one panel, and also rotate that panel to all the other sides so that all the sides show the same number. I'm just going to make all my numbers smaller because I forgot to do that when they were all one object, and UV unwrap them and place them all in the center like that. And now let's line them all up on the surface and in the center, because what good would it be if they weren't in the center? Now I'm just going to parent everything together the way I would like it to be arranged, and also use this cool shortcut to link all the materials together. Ta-da! I'm also going to UV unwrap everything so that Unity can handle everything better. And I'll save, and of course I forgot naming! Wow, okay. So let's name everything. Okay. So heading over to Unity, we can mess with import settings and also just hiding all of those other numbers so we can see what's actually going on. Yeah, messing with import settings, I don't really need animations right now, but I would like to come back to that later. So just setting up a quick little scene so I can see what's going on when I finally get it working in the script. You know, nothing complicated, just the cube. And now that we're done with that, we can set up a script. And now we can get started scripting. So the bulk of this episode is going to be the scripting. So I'm going to start out by making a reference to my face object, which I'm hoping to change the numbers on. But I think that the best way to go about this is to actually have the face itself calculate its own numbers. So I'm going to make a new script and put it on the face. These two scripts will interact with each other to get the desired result. So in this one, I'm going to have an array of game objects I'm calling numbers, where I'm going to put each of the numbers in. Then I'm going to make a function that activates the correct number based on which number the dice controller script sends it. And that part is pretty easy because I just need it to receive a value and then make that specific one active. The hard part is making all of the other ones inactive, so I'm going to make a loop that runs through all the others and deactivates them. I'm going to create a function called roll. This one will generate a random number, and then it will find the face control script to send it that random number. Now, as always, I've had problems connecting two scripts together, and I haven't quite figured out how you do it, so I spent a while on that here and there. Next, we need to set up the function that duplicates and rotates all of the face objects around so that we have an entire cube instead of just one face. This is probably what is going to take the longest, since we have to figure out all of the rotation and vectors and all of that. So I've decided to put in a loop and have an if statement that has every condition. So if we're at 1, do this. If we're at 2, do this, so that it rotates 6 different faces differently. Well, actually 5, because we already have a face that is in the correct orientation. I also realized I probably should make my number function public. So what I'm doing here is I'm just setting up a start method to set the number to 0 and rotate all the faces so that we don't start with an empty cube until we roll the first time. So my current thought process is that in roll, I will change the number and then re-rotate all the faces again and delete the old ones so that a new number appears. But I quickly realized that that might not be a good way to do it. Right now I'm trying to get the face control script to connect, and this is kind of the same problem that I've come across several times. Maybe it's just I don't understand how getComponent works. I know they made a change to getComponent a couple of years ago. Maybe that's what the problem is. Back in Unity, we can assign all of our objects to our numbers array and clean up miscellaneous things in the script that we didn't need, make our roll function public, and create a GUI button so that we can activate roll right there. So we've got our button, and it seems to be changing numbers, but it also seems to be duplicating everything a million times and not deleting the old copy, and also putting things below ground. Okay, well, let's see what we can do about that. I'll make it so that everything is instantiated locally so that no matter where we move our dice object, it will work, and all of our faces won't just instantiate around the origin of the world. Well, it's changing the face, but we still have this duplicate problem. What's the best way to do this? I think it's probably to have an array of game objects, and we're going to fill that array with a GameObject.findWith tag so that we can assign a tag to our faces and then delete them all after we're done with them. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. We need to make a tag for this, so I'm just going to make a tag that I'll assign to all the faces. And, oh, index is out of range. I wonder if we deleted the object that it's all basing everything off of. Wonder if we need a whole entirely new system. Kind of at this point that I started working really hard on getting all the faces to rotate, and it wasn't really working out, so I'm speeding this way up so you can see an overview of that. I moved the UI button. That's something that came out of this. I was kind of getting a little frustrated at this point just because I couldn't figure out all of these vectors and how to get them to work. Yeah. I wonder if it's time. Okay, I'm back. I ate and I have new inspiration. I think we just need to hard code all of the correct angles in because I was trying to do it all locally and it wasn't really working. Oh, it almost worked. We have most of the faces. We have one too many faces. Okay, so let's decrease the number and of course fix everything to match up to that. And we're still missing one face. It's right here, but we need to rotate it 90 degrees. So I'm going to fix the top input with the correct input, and that seems to have fixed it. Yeah, look at that. Although I haven't seen the number 6 yet. So since I sped up the last section where I made up quite a few changes, but they were all very minimal, thought I'd run through the script for you guys. So it starts out with a GameObject.find to find all the tags. That'll just give us one object. And then for each of those, it's going to get its face control component and send it the number 0. Then it's going to rotate all of the faces, which instantiates faces number 0, which is the first one in the list, at the local position and rotates it around axis, which is dependent on which of the loop it's in. Then it's going to add all these new faces to the faces array. Down in roll, we're going to generate a random number, and then it's going to send that random number to all of the face controls of each number. So we're not going to delete them and then try and re-instantiate them. We're just going to give them a new number so that they can display it. So in number, this just receives a value, and that value will determine which ones are set active and false. And it's that simple yet complicated? I don't know, it depends on how you see it. So I would really like to hear from you guys if you like this sort of scripting episode, or if I should edit it a bit more and do something more like this breakdown I just did after the fact, because I know they can get kind of long and there's a lot of bad code being flown around, but that's kind of how I code. So anyway, tell me what you think in the comments, and I will definitely read them.